What's up guys, this is Dax, shop owner at Savage Tattoo and Tattoo Mentor. And in today's video, I wanted to break down how tattoo artists price. Because I feel like this is a really well-known topic, but really misunderstood. Okay, so how do tattoo artists price? In my experience, there's about three ways. It's either by the piece, hourly, or by the day. By the piece is just by the piece. Whether it takes 2 sessions, 3 sessions, 5 sessions, it's by the piece. If it's by the hour, obviously you're paying by the hour. And if it's by the day, then it's pretty much whatever a day session is. In the day session, it's pretty much whatever you get done in that day. So what determines price? How does an artist make his price? This is a harder question to answer because most artists don't know what they're doing. They compare their prices to the other artists around them. And the truth is it's a mixture. This is a beautiful thing. It's a mixture of art plus a service business plus it's like surgery. Okay, so imagine surgery, art, in a service business combined. That's what tattooing's about, and it's kind of hard to compare that because of all three of them. I mean, with surgery, with all the health concerns that a tattoo has, you gotta know what you're doing, okay? Your career could be ended just as fast as it starts. And anything health related costs a lot of money, right? Right. Tattooing is no different. Even if you go to the wrong artist and you get bad work or you get a cheap tattoo, that's why it's cheap, because it's not good. A good tattoo is gonna cost a good investment. And then, if we look back to famous artists, okay, imagine Picasso comparing how much one of his paintings was worth to Leonardo da Vinci or something. Like, it doesn't work that way. You can't compare prices to other artists. And I'm going to show you a better way to find an artist rather than looking for the price. But we got more to get into this. Some say the experience or the precision or the overhead cost, as well as ink, needles, supplies, plus the reputation of the shop, plus the demand of the shop, plus what's included with your tattoo. Does it come with free touch-ups? Does it not? All of this stuff is combined with pricing, and a lot of artists like to keep this stuff in mind, and all of it does matter because it's all included in a tattoo. But let's make it simple. The simplest way to put how an artist charges is, can they deliver? Okay? If you're wanting a tattoo, you want somebody that you can trust to deliver. You don't want somebody that's 50-50 trustable. Can they deliver a tattoo that you're going to love for the rest of your life every time you look in the mirror? That's bottom line what matters. If they can, you should be willing to pay them whatever it takes. If they can't, you don't want to go to them, even if you get a cheaper price. So now let's talk about a regular do-it-all artist versus a specialized artist, because there's a big difference and not every artist is created equally. So one thing to understand is artists are not like mechanics, for example, okay? You can't just put them into one category. Every artist has its own strengths and their own weaknesses. When I became an artist, this is what I did, okay? I look at art like this. When I started, I explored all different types of mediums, painting, drawing, pencils. Then I jumped into tattooing and I did the same thing. I discovered all kinds of different styles of tattoos, and I did all of them, from tribal to Japanese, koi fish, lettering, portraits, realism, sacred geometry, black and gray color. I did it all. There's a quote out there that says, "You can do anything, but you can't do everything." And that really stuck with me, and I honed it into my art, because then I realized something. Yeah, you can do it all, But when you do it all, you spread yourself so thin that you just become just a shallow artist, and all your artwork looks very similar. But it's not your style that looks similar, it's just the quality. And so I thought about it like this: why do it all when I could specialize in something that I really like? Because there were certain styles I didn't really like. I didn't really get into them. I'm not really into the cartoonish looking tattoos. Some people are, I'm not. I like details. I like stuff. I like to challenge what's possible on the skin. And for that, we're talking realism and portraits. And for me, I thought, okay, I can do portraits, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But why not focus all of that energy in one direction? Why not just do the details in portraits? Sure, it might be scary because I don't know if there's many people out there that want that stuff, but that's what I like to do. And that's what I care about. And if I don't like a style, I don't feel right tattooing it on somebody. And so that's why I realized that I was going to become a specialized artist in a style and go deep into that rather than in width and do all styles. So I don't do sacred geometry, I don't do words, I don't do all the other styles, I only do one. And with Savage Tattoo, that's how our whole shop is ran too. We don't have do-it-all artists, we have specialized artists. And for me and our clients, one thing that I've heard from our clients is they like to come to specialized artists because they know it's not the first time that that artist has ever done that style. Okay? That's a big mistake to go to somebody who's never done what you want. So being a specialized artist, it allows you to be more trustable. Because when people come into my chair, they know when they come in, they're not just coming in to get a portrait. They're not just stopping by for a portrait. They're coming to get the best portrait that they can get in Utah. And that's why they come to me. And because I specialize in portraits, they trust me a lot more than they would trust me if I just did every style. But that's all they see is a lot of detailed tattoos, so they know I can deliver. They know that whatever they pay me, they're going to get something they're happy about. And that's the type of artist that I recommend you going to, is an artist that's going to deliver on whatever you're wanting. So only you can make that decision. But when you're talking to the artist, just know there's a lot more that goes into pricing than what you really think. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to, is it worth it to you? Can they deliver? And by the way, when choosing an artist, when you're asking them about prices, hourly, whatever, now here's another thing to keep in mind. Just because you see an hourly rate, say you go to a shop that charges an hourly rate, and then you go to another one to see what kind of pricing you can get, and one of them's cheaper. You get a cheaper hourly rate. And they look like they do the same good work. Now, just because it's an hourly rate, that's not the only factor that determines the total price you're going to pay. Certain artists, specifically the artists that do it all and are less experienced in one specific style, they take a lot longer to do specific styles. The specialized artist, say for example for me, I can do portraits in about half the time that another tattoo artist usually does. And the reason why is because I have that experience, I know what I'm doing. So just because you get a cheaper hourly rate, don't think that you're going to get a cheaper price from that artist. One specific example is I had somebody come to me, even though I charge about double the hourly rate of this other artist, but they came to me because they realized that this artist was taking 2 to 3 times longer to do the same thing as I would have done, and it didn't look as good. So that's something to consider. Like, you have to realize there's expertise involved in the timing. Now, how many hours is your tattoo going to take? That totally depends. I can't give you the answer to that, but you know, the experience and precision that the artist has matters. Between two artists, the time difference can be dramatic, and there's a few things, you know, expertise matters, The quality of equipment, what needles are they using, the same thing as I would have done, and it didn't look as good. So that's something to consider. Now, like, you have to realize there's expertise involved in the timing. Something to consider. Now, how many hours is your tattoo going to take? That totally depends. I can't give you the answer to that, but you know, the experience and precision that the artist has matters. So between two artists, the time difference can be dramatic. And there's a few things, you know, expertise matters. The quality of equipment, what needles are they using, all of that stuff matters. And how many breaks that the artist takes or that you take. All of that stuff matters. So with all this information I just gave you, you're probably like, what the So how do we know which artist to go with and how much to pay? Well, the only answer to that is to get a one-on-one consultation, okay? You can't just call the shop and expect an accurate price because everybody's body size is different, everybody's skin is different. There's so many different factors that the only way you can get an accurate price is to get a one-on-one consultation. I'd like to encourage you to fill out the link below this video to get a consultation with our shop. In your consultation, we'll be able to answer all of your questions as far as how much the tattoo is going to cost, any design related questions, how the tattoo artist works questions, and also appointment availability and when you can get the tattoo. If you're ready to get started with your dream tattoo, I'd like to welcome you to the Savage Tattoo family. Just click the link below, fill it out for a consultation. And if you're not, that's okay. Like this video, give it the thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. And most importantly, share it with somebody who this will help. And lastly, most importantly, I would really appreciate it if you shared this video with a friend that was looking to get a tattoo. Really appreciate that. Like I said, subscribe. We're going to be putting out more videos like this. Oh, and one last thing. If you got a question or you have an opinion, you like Savage Tattoo, you don't, you like tattoos, you don't, drop it below. I look forward to reading every single one of those. I actually read all of them and I do my best to reply. So drop it below. I look forward to meeting you.